Welcome to the RavenSpace on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is RavenSpace Mailbag, where we answer your questions about the Baltimore Ravens every single Monday. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please subscribe to RavenSpace on YouTube if you're not yet subscribed. And a special shout out to our Patreon subscribers, because without you guys, none of this is possible. Now we're going to hop into our first question. But first, I want to say, if you want to send your question to the RavenSpace, please send it to TheRavensSpace@gmail.com. We'll answer your questions either on the Mailbag show or on the RavenSpace Dailies. So we're going to hop right in to the first question from Brendan. And Brendan asks, do you think if Flacco leads us to another Super Bowl, it will put the elite questions to rest? Thank you so much for your question, Brendan. The answer is no, I don't think so. Because more and more in today's age, we're kind of seeing that those Super Bowls make a big impact. A quarterback can win a Super Bowl without being elite. So now it is hard to get up there, but what is elite? That's what you gotta do. Is elite top 5, right? So if elite's top 5, then you got quarterbacks like Russell Wilson that aren't elite but have Super Bowl rings, right? So you gotta what is elite? Now Joe Flacco is a good quarterback. Is Joe Flacco one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL? No. In my opinion, he's not. But I do think that he can win another Super Bowl, and if he wins another Super Bowl, then it puts him in a rare air, but I don't think he will be considered elite. I think he'll be considered a winner. I think he'll be considered a player that can take his team to the next level in the playoffs, but I don't know if he'll be considered elite. The word elite, is usually used for quarterbacks who are in that top 5 range, and even if he wins a Super Bowl, I don't think he'll be in that top 5 range, in my opinion. So again, you guys let me know how you feel about that in the comments below. Answer every single question if you want, and I will pin the top comment at the very top. So let me know. But I do not think that he'll be considered elite, because I don't think that he'll be considered a top 5 quarterback unless he has a great season, regular season, and a great postseason next year. So we'll see, but I do not think so. Thank you so much for your question, Brendan. We'll move on to the next one. And this question is from Sebastian, and Sebastian says, as the old adage goes, an offensive line is only as strong as its weakest lineman. That being said, who do you think is the weaker lineman, Jensen or Hurst? Thank you so much for your question, Sebastian. And I'm going to say, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys think this, it's going to be Hurst. Hurst struggles at that tackle position. He struggles with quicker players. Now, we haven't seen Jensen at that position, right? So it's kind of unfair at the same time. But Jensen is a much better run blocker, in my opinion, than Hurst. And both of them have issues in pass blocking. But I do think that Hurst is the weaker offensive lineman. And you can see that the fact that Jensen will be a starter. Now the Ravens have signed Zuta and Austin Howard. You'll see Jensen move over to left guard, and Hurst will be on the bench. I truly do think that. And only because they don't trust Hurst in pass blocking or run blocking situations. At least you trust Jensen in run blocking situations, because Jensen is a mauler, okay? Jensen is one of those guys who are, built lower to the ground, who like to, hit people, and that's the kind of lineman that you want. You don't want a lineman that struggles in both facets of the game. You have to at least have one strong facet, and so the Ravens coaches can work on the other and improve you, and that's something that Jensen is good at run blocking. They're going to try to make him better at pass blocking at the guard position. So thank you so much for your question, Sebastian. My answer is Jensen is better than Hurst. And we'll move on to the next question. And this question comes from Sam. And Sam asks, as a former quarterback, could Keenan Reynolds possibly take over as backup quarterback over Ryan Mallett if Mallett continues to underperform? Or is he just seen as a return man / receiver to them? Thank you so much for your question, Sam. And the answer, you said it, he's just seen as a receiver, return man to them, because of his height. He's a short guy. And in the NFL, it's very, very difficult for a shorter quarterback to play in the NFL, especially a quarterback that when he was in college, Keenan Reynolds used his legs as a weapon more than using his arm. And in the NFL, you have to be able to throw the football in order to be successful. And so you can look at all the top quarterbacks that, even though a lot of them do have leg movement, they have the ability to run. You see quarterbacks like Russell Wilson be able to run. Quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers Andrew Luck, be able to run, they can use their arm as well. They use their arm primarily. They only run it if they are in tough situations. And some of the quarterbacks I mentioned, like Aaron Rodgers, usually don't even scramble out the pocket for yards. They move inside the pocket, or they extend plays, but they never go past the line of scrimmage. Can Keenan Reynolds do that on a consistent basis? I don't think so, because in college he wasn't really a passer, and when he did throw the ball, they were very basic routes. They weren't multiple reads because of the offense that he was in. And so I do not think that he has a chance. I think a better person to back up Joe Flacco is it Woodrum, who's been playing very well. He's a young player, and if the Ravens sign him, they can groom him. If Joe Flacco wants to leave, you can also have Thad Lewis, who I think is an old vet that could teach people a little bit about the game. So, in my opinion, I would say that Keenan Reynolds will strictly be a return man and strictly be a receiver. He has no chance of backing up anybody at quarterback. Thank you so much for your question, Sam. We're going to move on to the last question of the day. And this question comes from MJ. And MJ asks, do you think the Browns are legit enough, talent-wise, to prove a worthy rival of the Ravens in 2017? Thank you so much for your question, MJ. And the answer is sure, yeah. You guys have to remember that last year, the Browns were up about 20 points on us. Now the Ravens did come back and win. The Ravens had a very, very fortuitous call where the referee called a penalty on Josh Gordon for, flicking the ball and it hitting Ladarius Webb, but it wasn't really meant to hit Ladarius Webb. So the Ravens got lucky there. If that call didn't get called, then the Ravens lose that game. And so you can very easily see the Ravens getting a win. The Browns, you can very easily see the Browns getting a win. Anytime you face competition in division, it's going to be tough. And also, the Browns are much better this season with the talent they have, the young talent, than they were last season. And I like their coach, Hugh Jackson. I think he's mature. I think he's better than he was the first time he was a head coach. And so I do think that there's a chance that the Browns can beat the Ravens. I think there's a chance the Browns can beat the Steelers. I think there's a chance the Browns can beat the Bengals. I think the Browns can be a sneaky team. If they're at home, anything can happen. It depends on how the quarterback plays. But, of course, the Browns have a chance to upset the Ravens and anyone else in our division. Thank you so much for your question, MJ. And that has been the RavensSpace mailbag for today. Thank you guys so much for sending in your questions. We truly appreciate it. Please subscribe to RavensSpace on YouTube if you're not yet subscribed. Check out our Patreon page where you guys can help support independent media. It's a super cool thing. You guys can give us some support, and in return, we give you guys special prizes like early videos. So again, please check it out. Follow us on different social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out RavensSpace.com. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.